Hi, this is Jim Campilongo, and today I thought I'd talk about this diminished thing. Let's just learn the scale first, I guess. It has a specific fingering which it'll make more sense later, but for now, let's just play the scale. It's actually an arpeggio. Put second finger on the 5th fret of the 1st string, and then 4-1 on the 2nd string. So it's 2-4-1, and then that fingering again, but closer to the ceiling, 2 on the 3rd string, and then 4-1 on the 4th string. So that's okay. Now I like to keep it really simple because sometimes, as simple as this is, it's kind of hard to remember. 2-4-1, 2-4-1. It seems easy, but sometimes it isn't, at least for me and what I see in others. But I'm going to add one note. It's kind of the odd man out. 3. Okay, so we got, sorry. Now, this could be a lot of things. It could be a diminished arpeggio with 4 names. Let's call it A. Or, I take a deep breath because this sounds so heady. It could be D7 flat 9. Okay, that's like the James Brown chord. That's a 9, D9. But there we have to renegotiate our fingers and play a flat 9. And that's the context I'm gonna suggest we use it. Now, let's say we're in A and we go to D and we're in the key of A, blues kind of thing, like. So that was A7 to D7. Not a bad loop. Okay, so we can play blues. It's going to sound fine, or we could play blues with their changes. Or we could play this diminish line over the forecourt, and I'll try and demonstrate and make it a little musical. So I moved it up in minor thirds. Now, what that is again, it's over this chord or this chord, a 7th chord, but it's 5th, major 3rd, the flat 9, 7th, then these notes repeat those same intervals. Now, a way to get a little mileage out of it, and it's kind of a Charlie Christian thing, is this. Just like before. 2-4-1, stop there. 4-1-2-4, then. So it's. And you can get a little more out of it. I mean, it sounds good. Kind of hear 1 to 4. Now I'll change the rhythm to where it's kind of a pseudo rockabilly thing, and I'll do the same approach. So that's A to D. I think the loop was good. And there's D, right? Okay, so I'm going to play the diminish line. best playing, but you get the idea. It's a sound you might have heard, and this is how I look at it. When I want to put this into something, if I'm in this key, A, I put my second finger on the top of my bar chord, or an A, and I know I could play this over my 4 chord. Does that make sense? Because that's how I do it. I mean, depending if I have a second to think. So I'm in this key and I'm playing my A lines. And I could move up a minor third too. So you get the idea. It's so if let's say I was in this key, C, F, approach. Now, again, I could explain this and say we're using a diminished arpeggio that doubles as a dominant 7 flat 9 arpeggio, which you'd want to start on one of your chord tones of that chord, primarily if it was a 4 or a 5 chord, because you would want a lot of tension as opposed to the 1 chord where you want some resolution. And that's really the textbook way of explaining it, but gosh, my eyes are glazing over as I say it. So just for starters, think, you know, you're in A and you're going to play this line. Now this line too could be played over, and I don't want to confuse you, but it's a really useful sound. Let's say we were in A and kind of a more of a minor-y A thing. That's not a very good loop. Well, it's not either, but you can hear it. That's over A, but again, it's more of like a minor-y A thing. So you can use it like that too. Again, it's just or okay, I hope that is clear and helpful. You know, I debate on what kind of things to do, and you know, with once a week I'll eventually, you know, show every lick I know twice. But you know, to keep it like attractive to blue collar musicians. You know, if I call this, and I will probably name this video superimposing diminished scales or something like that, it's not as user friendly as 10 blues licks you should know. But this is what I'm into, and I hope it's what you're into as well. And either way, I hope this was clear and enjoyable. So thanks a lot and have a great day.